Hey guys, today's video is over Tina Goldstein. I know I said that in my last video, but I just wanted to reiterate it in case, you didn't watch my last video. So, where to begin with Tina? It annoys me that people think that she's a boring character, which I can see where at first you can think that she's boring and just kind of blah. But the more you watch Fantastic Beasts, you can see more of her personality coming out. And I think that's just where we're actually getting to know her. My nose is itchy. Sorry about that, but oh, by the way, if anybody has a rowboat or something I can borrow, it's been very, very rainy over the last few weeks. It's not like flooding, but it's rained just about every day for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm not saying rain's a bad thing because, yeah, we do need it, but I mean, it's winter, it's cold. Rain when it's cold outside does not feel that great. So, back to Tina. I guess I will start in the first movie. We see her sense of doing what's right start to come out just like almost as soon as we meet her. Because she sees Newt doing something illegal and she's trying to get her job back. She's trying to prove to her used-to-be superiors, her ex-superiors, that she should not have been demoted. She should be allowed back on the investigative team. So she arrests Newt. She has no idea who he is. She sees something illegal happening. She tries to correct it. And then when she does get him arrested and herself along with him, after she started to get to know him a little bit better, when he's talking about the Sudanese girl who was also an obscurial, Tina really starts to feel remorse for this man. Like, she's so sorry that she got him arrested and possibly all of the creatures in his case exterminated. And like her character growth from the beginning of the movie to the end, she literally went from, oh, you're writing an extermination guide on how to get rid of these magical creatures, to these things are amazing, I want to know more. And the way that she interacts with the Alchemy after the scene in Macy's when they've had to catch the Alchemy again, as she's putting it back in the nest, she does so very gently. Like, somebody that could really care less wouldn't have been that gentle, and she had just like this sweetest, kindest smile on her face. So definitely a lot of character growth. One of the things that makes me love her so much, she literally went from really not liking magical creatures, thinking, oh, they're going to wreak havoc on society. Eventually, the wizarding world is going to be outed because of them, to just absolutely wanting more and more. So that is definitely one of the things that makes her a good character, is her growth. Then in the second movie, when we meet her again, she's definitely hurting. That leather coat that she's wearing in the second one, it's almost like armor to her, I think. Puts this on and people can't see how badly you're hurting. She and Queenie have been fighting. They haven't talked in a while. That takes a toll on somebody who has literally all they've had since the time they were a teenager, at least. We don't know when their parents died. To having that person and then all of a sudden not having your built-in best friend. Yeah, that's hard to go through. I mean, and the fault lies on both of the sisters. Tina had just gotten reinstated at work, so she obviously wanted to try and remain in the good graces of her superiors at work, and maybe she thought, if Queenie's found out, that can come back on me because I didn't come forward. So I can definitely see where Tina would be coming from, wanting Queenie to end her relationship with Jacob, but it was almost like she was putting work above her personal relationships. And then she feels like she's gotten burned by Newt. She had started to fall in love with Newt, and I'm sorry for any background noise. I'm not sure if that was the neighbors downstairs watching something or if it's thunder. I don't know. It's not out of the realm of possibility right now. So back to Tina and Newt. Tina had started to fall in love with Newt. At this point, she doesn't want to admit to herself how much she really likes him, but she definitely feels like when she read that article about Newt and Lita being engaged, like, why didn't he tell me he was in a relationship with his high school sweetheart? She doesn't know the extent of their relationship. As far as we know, he never mentioned Lita in any of his letters to Tina. So, I mean, yeah, it's understandable that she would be very upset by reading that article. And the easy thing to do would have been to write to Newt and find out exactly what was going on, and he would have said, hey, that was a mistake, it's not true. But when you're hurt, almost the last thing that you want is confirmation. And I really think that she was terrified of reading, yes, Lita and I are engaged. So I think that's why she didn't write back to Newt. Also, Tina's not the best at communicating, in case you hadn't noticed. That definitely comes from growing up with somebody who can read your mind. Think about it. If your mom or dad could always know what you were thinking, or you could always know what your best friend was thinking, how much easier would that make communicating to somebody? All they would have to do is think the answer to a question that you had just asked, and you would know what they thought. I mean, and doing that your entire life, that forms a habit. Very, very big habit. I think it takes roughly 21 days, so 3 weeks, to form a habit. And I mean, if this is something that has been going on your entire life, yeah, living with a Legilimens for a sister can definitely hinder your capabilities in communicating. So, I mean, yeah. Hang on, I gotta grab a drink. Sorry, I'm feeling kind of winded. I think it's just like allergies, winter, fall allergies, whatever. I hope I'm not like coming down with any kind of like cold or anything, because I hate colds. Where was I? When Newt compares her to his creatures, that made her so happy. In a way, it was confirmation to her that he might feel the same way that she does. She knows how much magical creatures mean to Newt, and so for him to say, you're like the middle head of the rune spore, or your eyes are like salamanders, that means so much to her coming from Newt. He basically called her a visionary and said, you've got a fire within you that I haven't seen in another person. I mean, yeah. And just the look on her face during the rune spore comment, she was trying not to laugh at him, trying not to just like let how happy it made her feel. She was kind of holding back a giggle, holding back a smile, trying to keep this anger on her face, and it didn't work. And then just the look on her face after the salamander eyes comment, it just, I don't have words. For some reason, I have Tina is basically like a less sassy McGonagall, and I can definitely see that. I think once she gets to know somebody, she's not afraid to let them know her opinion on something. She's just a little bit less sassy about it than McGonagall would be. Also, she's not above going on her own personal assignments. Like she did when she tracked down the second Salemers, and like before the first movie started, that the incident that she references in The Blind Pig, that was her own personal assignment. That was not something from MACUSA. And the reason I bring that up is because we don't know if she went to Paris to look for Credence just because she wanted to find a way to she wanted to find a way to make sure Credence was allowed to live. Or, here's a thought that popped into my mind as I was writing down these notes. When Queenie went to the French ministry, she asked to speak to Tina Goldstein. But, as I brought up in my Queenie video, Tina's legal name is not Tina. It is Porpentina. And I'm guessing that the reason she just goes by Tina is because she doesn't like her legal name. I mean, how many of us do that? I mean, in high school and college, I tried to go by something other than my actual name because Sindel is a weird name to see spelled out. And those of you that know how I spell it would actually realize, yeah, that's a weird name. Seriously, if I had a nickel for every time that my name was misspelled, mispronounced, or somebody's like, how do you say your name? I would probably be rich by now. So I definitely understand how Tina feels about her actual name. So I'm wondering if maybe, sorry, I'm a little bit short of breath. I'm wondering if maybe she was working out of the French ministry, but under Porpentina rather than Tina. And of course the ministry, which wasn't looking for just Goldstein, she was looking for a first name as well. Tina is very kind-hearted. I mean, all you have to do is look at the way she approaches Credence at the end of the first movie. Makuza was willing to act and stop him no matter what, through any means necessary. Tina tried to approach him like an upset child, which is basically what he was. He was broken and sad and lashing out. There was an ant. I'm sorry, there was an ant. There's one flying around here. But Credence in the first movie, there at the end, was lashing out at everyone, which is what happens when people are hurt. And she tried to calm him down. She approached him very gently. She spoke with a very soothing voice. And Graves wanted to exploit Credence's power. Grindel Graves, I'm sorry. But Grindelwald wants to exploit Credence's abilities, whereas Tina was wanting to try to help him to get to where he could at least control his emotions a little bit better. And my last one is the fact that she is, or was, a Thunderbird at Ilvermorny. So, on the Pottermore website, you can look up the different names of the Ilvermorny houses, and it will give you just a very short description of what each house stands for. Very much like the Hogwarts houses. Trying to catch my breath. So I looked up Thunderbird, and it said Thunderbird is said to represent the soul, but it is also said that Thunderbird House favors adventurers. So, I mean, Tina being a Thunderbird, she really does fit into that house. I'm good. This is weird, but I don't think it's too serious. So, I did just eat a large lunch, so maybe, everything's kind of pressing against everything else and compressing my lungs. Anyway, back to Tina being a Thunderbird. Her sense of adventure and her love of adventure comes out when she's with Newt, in case you hadn't noticed. When they're running through the French ministry, after she ties up Theseus, you can see just this look of, oh, this is fun. He's fun to be around. This is why I like him so much. No matter whatever situation we're in, he is fun to be around. And that definitely comes out. Anyway, that is all I've got. Thanks for watching, and I will be back next week. I'm not sure yet who I'm going to be analyzing. Also, you will have noticed the name change. Like I said before, my book-related content wasn't really getting as many views as these character analyses are, so I decided to change the name. So, I am now Hufflepuff Analysis, and I really hope I spelled that right. I don't know if I did or not, which is kind of embarrassing with as much as I read and how good I was at spelling in school. But, yeah, from now on, I will be doing character studies, character analysis, whatever you want to call it, and possibly book and movie analysis. I'm not really sure yet exactly what direction I want to take this channel, but we shall see what is in the works. I don't know. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week.